Hey, it's Curly, and today we're playing Pokemon TCG Live. I think last week I played Pokemon TCG Pocket again, and I've played, or rather I've uploaded a couple of videos on that in the past, a good amount, but I actually started playing TCG Live before Pocket came out, and then once Pocket came out I just started playing Pocket, but I was playing a bunch of this before Pocket actually came out. So what this is it's just it's an official simulator for the Pokemon TCG, the physical TCG, and it's had its ups and downs over the years, but like it's actually really good right now. So one of the really good things or cool things that they've done is that they have this free battle pass. Free as in like I haven't paid any money for this. You can like get levels using this like currency or in-game currency, but that's completely pointless because of the fact that I'm already level 99 out of 100, and I've only been playing my dailies once a day just to complete them, and I'm already done with that, right? So we actually have to use I was hoping that would be the case. We have to use Grest. But yeah, so I was originally playing this, and then I tried to come back to it after taking a break from TCG Pocket once I kind of got my fill out of that, or once I got to stop playing that as regularly is what I'm trying to say. And after that, I came back to this, but then they had done a rotation. So Pokemon notoriously does a rotation format where every, I think, like 2 years or something like that. Sorry, there's like a siren in the background. Every like 2 years or so, they just rotate out a bunch of cards, and it's not as bad as people make it seem. Initially it sounds abysmal, right? You think, oh my god, all of my cards are getting rotated out, this sucks butt. But it's actually not that bad because they end up reprinting a lot of the staple cards. So for example, this supporter, for I guess for Yu-Gi-Oh terms, is like it's the equivalent of like a spell or trap card, or in this case specifically a spell card, I guess to be specific. They'll just end up reprinting those staple cards, and your deck is like 90% of this. So they really only end up rotating out really usually problematic cards or something like that, and then just end up reprinting the ones that you're already using. And you can end up using these same cards that are I might be wrong about all this stuff. I'm not super well versed, right? So I'm talking a bit out of my ass here, so if you'll indulge me. But if it's quote unquote out of rotation, but it's in rotation, right? So if like it came out in the past, but they reprinted it, you can still use that old card, right? If you have like if you like the art on it, or the different way they did the card frame, because it's changed a lot over the years, or if they it's a full art like this one is, right? You can still use that. But again, I'm not super knowledgeable, but oh my god, I can't believe I'm fighting this deck. I just did this in Pokemon Pocket recently, and now we're fighting this deck again. But oh well. So I'm playing Erica here, which is a deck that I was trying to figure out how to make work for my fiance specifically, because she's always liked Vileplume, and unfortunately it's not very good in anything ever. Anything that gets it released. But they recently started making trainer cards again. By trainer cards, I mean trainers Pokemon, I guess I should say, to specify, which are just Pokemon that have a... I guess I can use this now. Pokemon that have the name of a trainer in front of them. So it'll be like in this case Erica's Bellsprout, Brock's Onyx, for example, right? You'll see a lot of stuff like that. I guess we'll pass on that. And it allows it to basically them to create cards that are like essentially an archetype. So I can have this Tangela, which is really great because it just lets me search my deck for any Erica's Pokemon specifically, rather than like making it any grass type, which would be slightly stronger. You can search a specific pool of Pokemon, which means that within the archetype they can make the effects a lot stronger, which is pretty cool. Unfortunately, I do play 3 of these, but one of them is in my prize cards. So I guess a quick rundown of how the Pokemon TCG works is you start the game, you have a 60 card deck, you have different combination of cards, you have basic Pokemon, you can evolve those Pokemon, but you also have trainer cards, which are like, again, like your spell cards and stuff, and they come in many different variations. And then you also have energy cards. So every Pokemon has an attack and an ability. In order to use their attacks, they need some kind of energy, and you can only attach a single energy per turn. However, since the game has been out for several years now, basically as old as Yu-Gi-Oh!, it's similar to Yu-Gi-Oh! In that you can accelerate that massively. So last turn I played a supporter, which just lets me look at the top 6, get an energy, attach it to one of my Pokemon. The only thing is that you can only play one supporter every single turn. So there is a hard once per turn on that no matter what, which is kind of cool because it lets you kind of have to work around that. Whereas like items and everything else, or other trainer cards, you can use as many as possible, given, you know, whatever restrictions the effects might have. But at the start of the game, you take 6 cards after you draw and you mulligan. You take 6 cards from the top of your deck and you put them into your prizes area. And it's kind of the reverse of Vanguard, where you start with 6, but once you go to 0 in prizes, you win the game. And every time you take out one of your opponent's Pokemon, you get to select a prize. And different Pokemon have different amounts of prizes that they can give when defeated. So this Regigigas only gives me 1 prize if I beat it. Likewise, the Tangela they just defeated is going to give my opponent 1 prize. But if I were to take out this Chin-Pao over here, who's an EX Pokemon, that would give me 2 prizes, right? So that's kind of how the power scaling ramping goes up in the deck. All of that long-winded explanation to just say that I'm going to attach this here and evolve this, and then see if we can get lucky off of this. I probably should have used the Tangela first, but I'm trying to get a specific card, and I'm just not seeing it here, and it's kind of unfortunate because it's going to make this very difficult going further. Yeah, I don't have it, so there's not really anything I can do, so I have to just sack something off here. Yeah, so I have this Erica's Tangela. I have a bunch of them, but the thing is I just don't have access to my third one. And that's kind of how this deck works. It just lets you search out every single one of your Pokemon really quickly. But it has to be, of course, the ones that are in Archetype. And on top of that, I can Night Stretcher here. On top of that, the way this deck works is that you can evolve your Pokemon like super fast, because you can only evolve your Pokemon once per turn, and they have to be on the board for a single turn in order for you to be able to evolve them. However, what this deck has is a card that lets me evolve my Pokemon whenever the heck I want. Or, well, once they've been on there for a turn, I think. But I can, you know, stack them super quickly, like almost like a Digimon, like if it was in Digimon, which is pretty cool. However, I did not get that. So I have to wait until next turn until I can actually do anything, which is pretty unfortunate. I can do 30 to this for the sake of it, but I don't really want to lose this grass energy, so I guess I'll attach it to this Weeping Bell for now and then end my turn. So unfortunately, I did not get that one card that lets me do that. And there's a lot of parallels between Yu-Gi-Oh! and Pokemon in terms of like how they play, but there's also a lot of differences. So similar to Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon has this thing where you can combo on for a very long time, right? However, it's nowhere near as bad as in Yu-Gi-Oh! Whereas like in Yu-Gi-Oh!, with no exaggeration, sometimes your opponent's turn might take 5 to 10 to 18 minutes sometimes, something insane like that, right? While that can possibly happen, it doesn't regularly happen. Maybe it does in like real life, but like even on a simulator, right? You play like Master Duel and your opponent just takes forever. And one of the things that I guess speeds that up is that there's no interaction from your opponent on your turn, right? There's no like hand trap or anything like that they can play. There's no trap card they can set, nothing like that. The only thing they can do is they can set have a Pokemon on the bench that has an ability that might affect you. That's the only way that they can interact with you, other than like on their turn. So that helps speeds up the game while you're doing all of your combos and going off. But other than that, you're kind of on your own there. So the main game plan of the deck, like I said, is you get all of your Erica cards out with these Tangalas, and then you evolve them super quickly with that card that I'm trying to get. And then this Victory Bell does 40 for each of your Erica's Pokemon that are in play, which is kind of nice. I'm going to have to... I kind of want to use the Ultra Ball, but I'm going to Lily here, hope to get that card. There we go. Perfect. So this is what the card I've been looking for, which is Forest of Vitality. So now I can go ahead. I think it's on the same turn. Yeah, even though usually there's a rule where you can only evolve something after it's been on the board for a turn, but this Stadium card, which is like a field spell, just lets me evolve instantly, as long as it's not my very first turn of playing the game. So I can go ahead and evolve this Oddish that I literally just played into Gloom immediately. So now I have to try and fill up my bench with Pokemon so that this Victory Bell can actually do something. But unfortunately, I think some of them are in my prize cards. So they can't really do too much. I'm going to try and give this here. They can't really do too much. But hopefully it might be enough to take out this Regigigas. We'll see. And we're gonna go ahead and go into Vileplume here, and then yeah, we do 200, which is decent. But yeah, the fact that I had to give up the Oddish really hurts because I don't have any more basics. I think they're all in my prize cards. So I have to get lucky here and select the right one. Okay, whew, I got the Tangela. That's great. So now I can max out Victory Bell's damage next turn at 240, which is not like super strong, but it does KO everything that he has out right now, or that they have out, excuse me. But yeah, so the game has a lot of parallels to Yu-Gi-Oh! In that sort of way, in the way that the game works, the game flow works, which is kind of nice. Also, how, you know, modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Is vastly different from Yu-Gi-Oh! In the past. Pokemon is kind of like that as well. It's a lot of fun. It is a bit of it's like a simple game, but it had a lot of depth to it, which is how I've never been able to get that out of my head, since that's how they described competitive, you know, in the video game, competitive Pokemon battling. I've never been able to like get that out of my head, that description, because that just so accurately describes how Pokemon is, right? In terms of like the strategy and the depths that you can go into it, even though it looks very simple surface level. But there's just so much going into it, right? From like IVs, EVs, abilities, items, this, right? The card game is kind of like that as well, which is really cool. Maybe not as deep or complex as the video game, but it is still really good. So this is... Okay, so it's going to... The only thing I can do is Hail Blade, which is basically the same thing as it does in Pokemon Pocket. But you discard water, and it does 60 for each you discard. And I don't know, and I guess it's from the whole board. So unfortunately, this is going to KO Victory Bell just barely by taking out all the energy they had there, which is unfortunate. I kind of figured that we can't rely on Victory Bell as I usually do for this, which is why I tried to build up this Erica's Vileplume. Erica's Vileplume is not super good either. Ooh, that is good. I'm going to go ahead and give this the energy. Play down this new Tangela that I got. Search my deck for nothing. I don't really think I have any. I can grab the Victory Bell, or sorry, Weeping Bell, but I have presumably another Victory Bell and Bellsprout in my prizes, which is a bit unfortunate. I might as well use the Erica, even though I have nothing that I can do with them, right? Because I can't play them out because I don't have the first stage to evolve into. I might as well grab them just so I don't end up drawing into them later. But then I'm going to play the Supporter Boss's Order, which is very... I don't know if iconic is the right word, but yeah, it's very well known. It's I keep trying to say pure, but it's a staple that's played in every single deck that just forces your opponent to swap out one of their Pokemon. We're gonna switch out and guarantee taking out one of their Pokemon this way, because I don't want them to be able to use that thing's ability, which just lets them get a bunch of energy. So this way, hopefully next turn they can at most only do 60, 100 or 120, I should say. But we'll see. So they're going to be able to get 2 water energy. Yeah, because that thing let them, the Brax Caliber, let them attach energy from a hand as much as they want. So they only have 2 water energy. 60 times 4 is 360? That can't be right. That can't be right. 60 times 4 is 280? No. Why am I so bad at math all of a sudden? 240. So they can't KO my Vileplume, which is pretty good. They will be able to next turn, which is a bit unfortunate. And I can't really do anything about that, but I can try and power up this other Weeping Bell and see if I can do something there. But I'll be honest, it's kind of rough here. I don't know if taking out the Baxcalibur was the right play, because again, now they can't just rapidly attach energy to use their Shoe Cold. They have to do it sort of slowly here. And they already attached an energy for turn. So I think that was the right play. Unless they get it and they can, you know, get the rare candy and evolve this. They might have the thing for Dunsparce here, but they just played it. So I don't know if they're going to be able to use it. They do have the, yeah, so they don't have the rare candy, but they did manage to get the Artibrax, which is a stage 2. And they maybe are trying to build up to the stage 3, so they might just pass here. In case in that case, I might be good, because Erica's Vileplume is the reason I tried to build this deck. It's not very good, but it can heal 30 from everything, which is, you know, fine. But it can also, if I manage to actually get the energy and use it to attack, which I usually don't, I can actually go ahead and deal sleep and paralysis, no, poison to my opponent's Pokemon, which is really good. And another card that I really have liked using, because I saw a list for this online that was using, what is this called? Yanmega? Yeah, Yanmega. I don't have any cards, unfortunately, so I can't get this powered up just yet. Yeah, that was using Yanmega. I don't think I have anything here, right? Yeah, I didn't think so. That was using Yanmega, but I couldn't craft Yanmega in this game, so I ended up just building the basic list, which is just all of the Erica's cards that came out in the latest set, and I just ended up using that. I'll just use this for the sake of getting rid of some of that damage that I have on me. And then we're going to go ahead and use Balloon Powder here to put this in KO range next turn, but also poison it and put it to sleep. So I believe if you're asleep, you cannot switch. You have to flip a coin to wake up, which I think they just did, right? They hit heads, so they're going to wake up, but then between each turn, they take 10 damage. So I'll possibly be able to take this thing out. But the fact that I don't have any other energy sucks, and now that they have the Braxcalibur, it's kind of rough here. Because like I just don't have anything built up, and this deck kind of relies on the speed of me like setting stuff up super quickly, and then kind of overwhelming my opponent with how quick I can set up compared to them. Not that like, again, this is a good deck, or I really know what I'm doing or anything like that. I like to make that abundantly clear here, but that is the game plan here. And unfortunately, I just have no way to do anything right now. I can defensively give them this Tangela, but the fact that my prize cards ended up being a bunch of the cards that I needed is just extremely tragic, right? Because I got what? I got the Tangela and I got the Victory Bell from that. Like, and there should be a Bellsprout, 2 Oddish, and yeah, 2 Oddish and 2 Bellsprout in there. I'm pretty sure. Maybe not 2 Bellsprout, maybe 1 Bellsprout and 2 Oddish and something else. But yeah, that's just how the cookie crumbles. We'll see how this goes. But yeah, sorry, I just wanted to do this. I wanted to record this for just record a random video of me playing this on the channel for a long time. I might end up doing a video of this on my Vanguard channel, but we'll see. But at the time, then Pocket came out, right? And then I just like, oh, I'll just do some videos for Pocket, and I was doing, you know, I started doing that because I'd be, like I said, I was playing this for a long while, and I was starting to like come down from it, wean down from it. I was playing like a bunch every single day. By the time Pocket came out, I started to come down from it, so I just picked that up. But then again, once I started coming down from Pokemon Pocket and I picked this up again, then they had rotated out some of the cards that I was using in the decks I was using, which was the only decks I had at the time back then, because it was kind of harder to get cards. Much harder. It was Arcanine EX with Charizard, and Cinderace, which is the first deck I had actually built in the game, because the Arcanine deck kind of came pre-made, and I just kind of threw in a bunch of stuff in there. But the Cinderace deck I kind of just deck I kind of made from scratch, which was a lot of fun. But then they like rotated out a few cards that I was using, so once I opened it, I was like, I don't feel like dealing with this right now. So I just kind of like closed the app. But yeah, I mean, my only option really is to put in this Victory Bell right now, right? I can't do anything until I get the necessary energy. There's one, which is nice, but I can't search my deck for anything. So yeah, we just end turn on that. There's nothing we can do here, other than hope that they don't have the means to get a bunch of energy, which they only need, what, 3 to kill me? And then I literally have nothing left, and we just kind of have to sit here. Thankfully, they only need 1 more prize to win the game here, so it'll be over after that. But yeah, and then I came back after that, played some more Pocket, and then came back and started playing this again, and realized that they reworked everything. I had heard about the rework, but I just never had a chance to play it between then, and it's been a lot of fun. They gave me a whole ass deck from playing the game, right? I built this Erica deck, and then I was using some of my older stuff, and then they gave me this other deck that I really like, which is the Mega Dragonite EX, which I was hoping to play here, but I'm doing this to clear the daily, right? Just because I wanted to get the 100 on recording. Not that it really matters, but I just thought it would have been nice. But that I actually feel like building in person, which is also one of the greater things about the game, that it is super easy to build for the TCG physically, just because the cards are super cheap, just because there's so much stock, usually, asterisks, right? There's so much stock, and there's so many people trying to buy the game, and it's Pokemon, right? So the common cards, they do a really good job of putting all the common cards actually be playable. So a lot of these important supporters I've been playing are like in the common spot and stuff like that. So it makes it really easy to actually play the game, which is why everyone talks about it. You can build a deck for like 20, 30 bucks pretty easily. Obviously not max rarity or anything like that, right? But even if you wanted to do that, it wouldn't be that much. But yeah, just wanted to show off Pokemon TCG Pocket real quick. We can end this off with getting my last bit of stuff from the I actually didn't even put in another EX or Pokemon, but I only need 1 here to finish this, and we complete the battle pass. This is, of course, for the latest set that just came out. Basically, as soon as the cards come out, they're available in this game, and on top of that, you can the cards you buy, the packs, they come with QR codes that you can scan and then open packs in this game. And like literal packs, it's the same exact pack. Not the same pack that you opened, but it's the same booster, and you get the same amount of cards as if it were an actual real life pack. It's really cool. We'll get to see that now, essentially. So got some trainer points, which you can use to like buy, I think, cosmetics, but also like buy battle pass levels. And then we got ourselves 10 packs here, and it's literally the same exact cards that you were, if you were to go out, if you could find it, which is why I said asterisks before. If you can actually find a product out there to buy, you can go ahead and scan a card, and it'll give you the same amount of cards, which is really, really cool. To the point that this is basically used to actually test for the physical game, right? Which is really fun. But that was one of the cards that I actually used, the Electric there, because it uses Dragonite. Oh, nice. I feel like I have more of these, but it's under a different, I think, like set, which is kind of confusing. When it says the collection here, I wish it would tell me that I have it in a different like rarity or like whatever, so I just know if I can like play it right. But I get why they're doing like that. There's Charger Bug, one of my favorite Pokemon. Here's the Force of Vitality. Love this card. Wish I can get this in a like full art or something like that. But I don't think that'll ever happen. There's a supporter that's really good. Oh, okay. I thought I had 4 of these already, but yeah. Here's Slurpuff full art. Looks really nice. There's a supporter that I use that came on the inside that's really good because it just lets you search anything essentially from your deck and add it to your hand, which I use to get my the stadium card. There's also Poképad, which I think is a new card that's come out this set that everyone's using because it's it essentially lets you search your deck for anything that doesn't have a rule box. So a lot of these Pokemon, they'll have like at the bottom it'll say if this dies, your opponent takes 2 extra prizes. That's a rule box essentially. And then you can just search literally any of those that doesn't have that and put into your hand, which is really cool. So like lets you search out there's a lot of ways to get like basic Pokemon out, but like getting second stages and like other stuff is really cool. So you can use that for that. And I think a lot of people are playing that, but none of the decks that I have can actually make use of that, at least to my understanding. I might be wrong about that. I might be able to play a few copies in the Dragonite deck, but here's the support I was talking about, Petrol. Just search your deck for any trainer card, put your hand. But yeah, I think Poképad is like supposedly like the new hotness. But that's using my very limited knowledge from what I see online and whatnot about this game, because I don't actually follow the game regularly. The only reason I even know anything is because like my fiance collects the card and she's collected it for many years, and then I just decided to sort of play the game. We've tried to play the physical game a couple of times in the past, and then I ended up trying to play the app just to sort of connect with her on that level because we always wanted to try and play the game. But then we eventually, very recently actually got actual full build decks that she got for us, and then we were actually able to play, which is pretty cool. N has his own like archetype thing, which I've been meaning to look into, see if there's anything there, but he doesn't have like any EX Pokemon, I think, except for like maybe Zoroark, but I think it was just a full art. This Mawile is pretty cool. But yeah, it didn't look super cool. And we have this collector's crate, which like, I don't know what this is, but it has its own like specific set list, which is why some of the cards I'll get here, I get upset because I was like, I already have this. But fine, I guess I don't technically have it from this one. Here's the Monkey Dory that's played in like every deck because it lets you move damage counters around, which is pretty strong. Here's the Dragonite that I've been talking about. That's a nice little Snorunt. Ooh, wow, I got a 4th of the Mega Frostlass EX. Really nice. This is pretty strong, or at least the normal one is. And then I got the Full Art Canary. Very nice. I don't know why the cards are so tiny. I wish they would like full screen this. I'll probably do it for our benefit. In post, I'll full screen these, but the fact that they make this so tiny, even on your phone, so I don't know why this doesn't just take up the entire screen, just so you can see the card, right, and see the details and like actually read what's on screen. But I'll show you what it looks like normally. And, compared to what I have here zoomed in. But it's nice to get that Spiritomb. We got max copies of this Mega Gengar EX. That's pretty cool. And then we got like our 4th, 5th, 6th copy of this Meganium EX, specifically this one. This is something I was considering building because I already have like the Erica stuff. You can kind of, it kind of plays a little similarly. I mean, not a little similarly, but they use a lot of similar cards is what I'm trying to say, right? Pangoro, Miss Magius, Colossal here. We got Hops Pincurchin. I don't even fucking remember him having a Pincurchin, if I'm being honest. We got Vigavolt, who I wish was not as dookie in this game as he was in the actual game, or at least this card specifically. Which is the one good thing about usually the TCG, maybe in the past, is that a lot of cards that usually a lot of Pokemon that aren't really good in the video game, they can be good in the TCG, but I feel like now they're kind of like making things a lot closer. Oh, cool, Charon. And you got this super cool Hawlucha. Yeah, I feel like they're kind of like making it so like they're a lot more even. So if Charizard is good in one game, he's going to be good in the other one. Or if like, a legendary is good in this one, right? So there's just a lot more overlap than there was in the past, I feel like. Anyways, thanks for watching the video. Let me know if you guys would want to see more of this. Till next time, take care of yourselves and each other, and have yourselves a damn good one.